Hello, YouTube, and Happy New Year's special. Now, then, uh, this is part one of What If Shinra Learned the Breath of the Sun. Now, then, if you haven't done so, I do recommend that you do go and watch part zero in order for you to understand the background and such of how I put together this what if. As for any vagueness that the part zero left, that was actually intentional for future reveals. So, with all that said, before the what if starts, hit it. Now then, we get to the beginning of the anime where it's explained that the world's greatest threat of and fear of dying is actually by fire, spontaneous combustion. As is explained and such, we get to where Shinra is waiting for the train running up the steps, with his bag in one hand and his sword in the bag over his shoulder. Obviously, like in canon, somebody went infernal and is now setting fire to the train, which stops at the station. After exiting the train, Shinra sees him and thinks, huh, seems a bit slow and not very aggressive. Has to be low level. He acquaints some infernals by what you would consider levels by the old demons from the past that the breath style users used to go against. So, yeah, as he takes out his sword and puts down his bag, he states, I don't even need my third gen ability to deal with you. As the Special Fire Force comes in, Captain Obi sees this and recognizes the uh, picture from the transcript. Since he got interested in him earlier on due to that whole thing with his family tradition, he recognizes him as Lieutenant Inoue tried to get Sierra to get back. Obi stopped him and asked Sister Iris to begin the prayer. As he was confused, Obi stated, Trust me. So she began. Shinra looked back and did see them. He at least showed them courtesy about the whole prayer thing that he wasn't really into himself in this one, but let it be considering he's not in Asakura anymore. And as he uses Flash Dance, lit going at him with blinding speed, he cuts through the Inferno clean through, slicing the car in half, quickly sheathing his sword. Flash Dance, as the first uh, style of the Breath of Sun, as you may or may not have known, the Breath of Sun spawned multiple other breath styles. This move in particular was the inspiration for the Thunderclap and the Thunderclap and Flash breath style technique of the thunder breath. Yeah. So this one inspired that one, as the infernal was completely cut in half in an instant and taken care of. Shinra just put his sword away and bagged it, as Obi walked up to him stating, "So you're the new guy," with him smirking. The infernal did throw a flame to try to attack Shinra, but it didn't really do anything to him, though it did set a wire on fire. Like in canon, it, it caused the light that was going to land on Sister Iris. As a reflex, he used his ignition power to fly over, catching Iris, keeping her from being uh, hit by the light falling on top of her. As we see Lieutenant Hinaway state to Captain Obi, so that incredible speed attack he used wasn't his innocent power. Does that mean that was pure physical ability? With Captain Obi smirking, stating, "Oh, I hope so." After getting to the Fire Force's area for Company 8, Shinra was introduced to everybody as he got his modified uniform to compensate for his power, as well as a holster for his sword built into it. Being introduced to Lieutenant Hinaway, Captain Obi, Maki, and Sister Iris. Also learning that the company doesn't have someone to work on the science portion for the company, nor an engineer. As Captain Obi does interrogate him about that smile he states it's a nervous tick. And obviously, Captain Obi leans in uncomfortably close to force the smile, which causes him to laugh. Afterwards, after getting to know everybody, the alarm sounds for another infernal attack, allowing Shinra to officially gear up as they go ride. With Maki asking, "So basically you have an ignition power that allows you to zoom around shooting feet from using your feet to shoot fire, while you also use a sword to uh, cut through cores and stuff?" He states, kind of, yeah. It's somewhat more complicated than that, though." As they get there and see that a large building is on fire, a man walks up to them asking to put his wife to rest, since she was the one who went infernal. As they went in, the infernal turned out to be a lot more active than the one at the train station and a lot more agile, catching Senior off guard, since being inside an enclosed space like this brought back some very uncomfortable memories with it being on fire and all, allowing the infernal to get a jump on him, kicking him in the wall. Though he didn't black out like in canon, since with full concentration breathing, his body is able to withstand a good amount of hits, especially some strong ones. Pulling himself up, he tells the others that he's fine, with Obi stating, "All right then this would be easy. Hurry up and deal with the Inferno." As he says, "Yes, sir." igniting his third gen powers, stating that he's going to put her to rest as Iris begins the prayer without any hesitation. He begins to set up for an attack, which is met by the Infernal going right at him for a strike, trying to hit Shinra with plenty of firepower, only to seem to be missing him, or at least it looked like it hit him. This was actually one of the techniques from the Breath of the Sun called Fake Rainbow, causing a sort of after image effect, allowing the user to dodge. Afterwards, we see him just up over the head of the Infernal as he uses Fire Wheel, with him flipping over the Infernal for this technique and slashing while in mid-air. This does get the Infernal pretty good, but doesn't get the core. As he gets his footing, he prepares for the final strike as the Infernal goes for another attack. As he goes Sunflower Thrust, thrusting the sword clean into the Infernal's core, going even faster using his third gen powers, piercing the core. So, yeah, with the effect of a flame going around his sword as it stabs in, resembling that of a flower pattern. The Infernal is done, and he walks out. He's thanked by the man for putting his wife to rest, as he smiles for actually helping someone. Which, like in canon, Captain Obi states, that's a genuine smile. Though Iris finds it odd. She saw a flower of flames he created with the thrusting of his sword into the Infernal's core, so it was a little confusing after seeing him fly around using the flames from his feet. So yeah, basically, Shinra's style is combining his fast movements and aerial maneuverability using his third gen powers through his feet in combination with the Breath of Sun style in order for him to attack at just about any angle he wants, even if it's in midair, while simultaneously giving more oxygen into his body to fuel his ignition power. So it does come in quite handy. In fact, if he were to use Blast Dance in combination with his ignition power, it would go even faster. So yeah, after this incident, we head back to the 8th company base, as Senior's now doing some cleaning duty up front, with Sister Iris and Maki doing some stuff on the roof, with her making sputter and flare. Honestly, she should probably get the hint by now, because Lieutenant Hinua is back, scolding Maki about playing with fire, especially since there's special fire soldiers. As Shinra meets up with Arthur, they obviously get into a fight. Afterwards, this leads up all the way to the roof where Arthur has his Excalibur out and Shinra has his sword out. Now, with the clear view of it, his uh, company members see that Shinra has a black sword, which is odd since swords aren't normally that color, obviously. So they're stopped by the lieutenant telling them to stop fighting. And if they really want to go at it, then they can train with Maki. As she's fine with this, and with Shinra as well as Arthur okay with getting some training and trying to show off to one another to see who's better. So, yeah, with him stating, I won't be losing, devil, as we hear Shinra state, yeah, keep saying what you want, you stupid knight. So, yeah, as the match is about to begin, Shinra pulls Arthur aside, stating, look, I'm not sure how well she can handle the fighting styles we know. So, rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. Okay? As Arthur's okay with this, doing rock, paper, scissors, with Shinra coming out on top on this one. As he preps, flipping the blade to the back. His first move is to attack Maki, going at him at full speed with his third gen powers, while preparing for a slash attack using the back of the blade, only for his flames to be extinguished by her second gen ability, with her tossing him, sending him flying up into the air. While he was distracted, Arthur swoops in, stating, I figured you wouldn't be able to do this, as he prepares his own attack, taking in his breath, stating, rumble and flash, as it looks like blue lightning is coming from his plasma sword, since he was trained in the breath of thunder. It was coming at Maki somewhat quickly, but she was able to avoid it, only getting a few slashes. With Arthur stating, I would recommend you surrender now. With Maki trying to extinguish his sword, but unable to due to the fact that it's plasma, making it harder for her to extinguish. So she decides to turn it into sputter. As Shinra is back in the fray, this time not attacking with his ignition powers, as he goes for a back of the sword hit with the form solar heat haze, as a odd colored flame envelops his sword. He moves back, trying to avoid it, but instead is hit in the shoulder the by the back of it near the end of the sword, with Senior stating, ha, did we pass? With the lieutenant stating, I suppose so. Though that was quite unusual. What exactly was that? Shinra just stated, it's a form of swordsmanship that I learned from my grandpa, and the stupid knight over there learned a form from a other master that worked well with his plasma sword. with him stating, "Of course, it goes well. After all, I am the king of knights. What sword technique wouldn't match well with me?" With Shinra just looking at him thinking, seriously? Why am I in the same company as this idiot? Which, afterwards, another call of an infernal comes in, which they do go over to meet, finding out it's some girl's dad, and he's just sitting at the dining room table calmly, waiting to be put to rest, holding out as long as possible. As Arthur is given the order to put him down, Arthur walks up behind him, putting his sword against the back of the chair like as in canon, the prayer from Sister Iris being said. Arthur states, "You've held on strong. Now you can rest," as he ignites his sword, destroying the Infernal's core. Though, Shinra began to smell something really odd that gave him a bad feeling, yelling at everybody to hurry up and get out, something's happening. They aren't sure what he's talking about, but they see the serious face as Arthur states, "If he says that, then run!" As Captain Obi then begins to see some odd things moving around the roof, he hurries up and grabs a picture. As the others are getting out, Shinra and Arthur grab their captain, with Shinra holding on to his captain's left side, with Arthur holding onto the right side. Shinra uses his abilities using the technique Flash Dance, as Arthur uses Thunderclap and Flash, though without using their swords, in order for a quick and powerful burst of speed, getting their captain out of there before it completely collapses on them. But he does not look pleased. Their captain is pissed, looking at them, asking if they had anything to do with this. They said, no, 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 no. Shinra even states, whatever that was, it would smell like, it smelled familiar and it smelled kind of burnt, but I can't put my finger on it. As then we see a face of fire mocking Company 8. Obviously, this is annoying Captain Obi, as he just walks off once the face disappears. We look over where we see a man in a hat with one of his eyes covered, stating, "Interesting. You seem more capable than I thought, little devil," as he smirks, holding a card made out of fire in between two of his fingers, using it to light a cigarette. As Captain Obi goes over to the girl whose father was an infernal, as well as years earlier it was her mother, he states, "It's fine. I've at least got this." The similar situation as in canon happens, as he cries, holding on to the picture of her family. He thanks them for what they did, as Captain Obi states that they're going to find who did this and make them pay, because he is not taking this down. Like, he is not taking this without punching somebody for it, or at least he wouldn't want to. you know, as they just head back to their company. Which is where we'll be ending this part of the What If. I apologize if it seems that this part went somewhat fast. It is mostly due to the fact that the beginning of Fire Force seems a little fast paced when you consider the events that occur. So, yeah, with this, we now end part one of What If Shinra Learned the Breath of the Sun. With that taken care of, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell, and I hope you'll be having a good New Year's. See you later.